Level 1 and also time period, because this would be important. Level 1 would be thinking about time periods, would be those persons who were arrested before July 1st, 2013, and those persons arrested after July 1st, 2013, because that would become a relevant time period. Then you also have to look at it upon levels. Level 1 is anyone who's arrested after July 1st, 2013, their case now, if they meet the criteria, which we'll kind of go through various criteria, is automatically restricted. It's automatically restricted. So you don't have to fill out any paperwork. You don't have to pay a fee. That's automatically done. The prosecutors have been doing that to this point forward. If you meet the criteria, those persons pre-2013 still have to actually apply and pay a fee. And so that's where this summit comes in. This record restriction summit comes in because what we decided to do is actually always have to do the application process, but we're going to eliminate the fee aspect of it. There is no more fee as far as this particular summit is concerned. And what it applies to is those persons who, number 1, have had their case dismissed, those persons, number 2, who have had their, who's gone through a mental health program, veterans program, drug court, or conditional discharge. These are the criteria under the law. So anyone who's gone through mental health court, drug court program, conditional discharge, or veterans court is also eligible. Also, anyone who's had their case actually where they were found not guilty. These are all the parameters that we've increased over the years. So if a person was found not guilty, they actually can now apply to have their record restricted. The last part, which is actually very good, is if a person had their record restricted under the old law, the way it would work is if your employer tried to run your history, that would not show. But at the clerk's office and at the jail, it would still show that you had these particular charges. So the other thing that the legislature did was created a process of sealing persons' records. A lot of persons thought that already existed, but it didn't. So now, if your record is actually restricted, it can be sealed. So not only will an employer not see if they run your history, criminal history, it also cannot be seen if they go down to the clerk's office or they go to the jail, because it'll be sealed. And that takes an order from the court system. So those are the different levels, how you kind of look at it. Now, the final piece to it is, after July 1st, 2013, if you're arrested, there was something called youthful offender. And so those who have children, we hope that you would, if your children apply to this. If you're a youthful offender charged with a misdemeanor, now all misdemeanors do not apply, but if you're charged with a misdemeanor and you're declared to be a youthful offender after July 1st, 2013, those persons, even if convicted, can actually have their record expunged, for lack of a better word, or record restricted. So those persons now are qualified for that. Now, the criteria for that is that you could not have another arrest or conviction for a 5-year period of time after you were sentenced originally. And so most people will fit into that, hopefully, because they have not gotten into subsequent trouble. So why do we want to do the summit? Number 1, to have situations like this, to get persons out to understand what actually is going on, to understand that these processes exist. That's first and foremost, that you don't have to pay a fee anymore, that you now is expanded about what actually can be restricted, and also the fact that you actually can have your record sealed. So those are the 3 areas. Secondly, one of the things that we have to do is, as far as the summit is concerned, is there's no fee. Third, the timetable now will be drastically decreased. The timetable up to this point in time was 60 to 90 days, sometimes possibly even longer. That now is drastically decreased to where we're going to try to do it just that one. We will do it just that one Saturday. So what is the actual process? The process is what we need persons to do, and this is just a paperwork issue, and we're going to have various ways of doing this, is you actually have to apply online. You apply online, and we're going to have different links through different organizations. They're going to be on the solicitor's office link, the public defender, district attorney, sheriff will have different links through different organizations. The Augusta Richmond County website will also have one too. That actually should be up by today to where you can apply. That just has to be done that way for state purposes. So once you apply, you would then receive a letter saying we've received your application and we're going to have the summit at Good Shepherd Baptist Church. So you receive a letter saying we're going to have the application and we're going to review it on October the 20th, 2018 to make sure that it does apply. Even if you do not apply, even if you don't qualify, there'll be persons there to actually tell you why that you may have missed it and what might be done to actually change it, if possible. So we're going to not turn anybody away. We want to make sure that we work with everybody as much as we can and continue to move forward. Now, what we did was we created a working committee, and I want to introduce the chair later of that working committee, because we had to have a committee to kind of do this. And I also want to say that it took all the partners in government to make this work. To not have a fee means the clerk.
Will the driver of a black Suburban, license plate RBE 1339, black Suburban, license plate RBE 1339, please come move your vehicle out of the passing lane. It will be towed. Please come move your vehicle out of the passing lane right now, or it will be towed. Thank you.
So, to make the fact that there's no fee required the clerk to say that she would not take a fee, because by law they actually can take fees. To actually have all these persons looking at the record, it took the solicitor's office and the district attorney's office to actually, they're going to have to go through each individual application and see if persons actually qualify. All of that has to be done. The sheriff's office, the marshal's office, they're with their arresting officer, they actually receive some of the paperwork. They have to look at it also. So, and then of course, if there are any costs, not to you, but to the county, we needed the commission to be on board to actually say that we'll cover any potential costs that may come up. So it took a united effort by all of your elected officials to actually make this happen. Without one official, we couldn't actually do this. When we talk about sealing records, that's never been done before. When we talk about sealing records, it takes a judge to seal that. And it would take a judge to decide on a Saturday that they're going to come out and wait for us to do all the paperwork that has to be done and then actually seal the record. Every single step had to take place. And that's your elected government coming together. Because if we had one missing, this could not work the way it was supposed to work. And everybody decided to immediately do this. So I do want to introduce the chair later of that working committee. And then I also, though, want all of our community partners to actually say some words. And if the persons on that working committee are here, they can introduce them from their office. So the chair lady of that is our Solicitor General, Amika Lockins.
Hi, thank you all for being here. I don't know if y'all really know, but this really is huge. They've done a program like this similar in the Atlantic counties, but this is the first time that it's done here in Augusta, Richmond County. And again, we could not have done this without everyone participating and involved. So you actually see the people that you put in office. You actually see them working for you and working together, and that's a great thing. Again, my name is Amika Loggins, and I am your solicitor here for Richmond County, and I will be involved in the process by helping reviewing the misdemeanor charges to see if they fit the statute. And again, I want to stress that this is not Amika's law, it's not Senator Jones' law or Sheriff Roundtree's law. This is this Georgia State Code, so we're going to go by the statute and go by the code, and if you fall within the law, then if you're able to restrict it, then we'll move on with that process. I do have a team that will be helping me. I have my investigators. I have one that's here today with me, Investigator Patrick Staller. Just raise your hand, Mr. Staller. I also have 2 attorneys that will be helping me. I have some attorneys here today, Ms. Catherine Taberti and Maya Rainey. So we have a group of people that will help us through this process from our office. We also we've been fielding questions, and if you have them, please continue to call. We will help you all to understand what that process is. We do have some flyers that have the website, but just so you know, if you go directly to the www.augustaga.gov website under Augusta News, that's where one of the links will be to take you to the application process. I've already checked with Mr. Horn here, part of our IT. Raise your hand, Reggie. He's assured me that information is already up in there and running. And so again, with you all being here, if you even think that you qualify, go ahead and fill out the application because it's free, so it's not going to hurt you any. It's free. I do want to also add that the process has to be done online, but this library, they will have computers available to you to use if you don't have access to one of your own. Our circuit public defender, Catherine Mason, at the public defender's office, which is across the street, she will have people available to help you through that process if you have any questions, and also I believe have computers set up so they'll be able to use. So again, you have all the people in the community that's working together to help make this happen for you.
And I'd also point out that we'll be the first county actually to do the youthful offender piece that I was describing, because you had to wait 5 years for your probation terms to be completed. So this went in July 1st, 2013. So we now only have persons who are even eligible for it. So other counties have been doing similar, only a couple, I think DeKalb and Fulton mainly, but we'll be the first ones that have the opportunity to actually help some of those young people because they're just now becoming eligible to actually get it done. Next, I'll have our sheriff please come up and say a word for us.
Thank you, Senator Jones, and thank you all for coming out today. I do just want to just emphasize the importance of at least looking at this process. Now, my office has been doing expungements through our regular system since I've been in office. But like Ms. Loggins told you, applying costs you nothing. Originally it was $50, then it was a $10 application, to fill out your warrant, background, then another possibly $25 to see even just go through the process. But I do encourage you to, if you come to our office, to call our office, go on our website, and ask questions first, because some people are not going to qualify. I just want to be clear of that. Some people are not going to qualify. So we will tell you this, we will be able to explain to you if you give us your situation, and we will tell you normally does this qualify. Now, we're not the final say, so we just will tell you that normally these do not qualify. So but we still will encourage you to fill out the application, because again, it costs you nothing. But at least we prepare you to say, I fill out this application, I had to wait till October and I don't qualify. So we will at least prepare you to saying that, hey, normally does not qualify, not to get your hopes up, but we're not the final governing body on that. So we want you to encourage you to fill out and take advantage of that no fees, filling it out. So I encourage you to come to our office, call. We have numbers. We have 3 numbers listed. We have our website listed to answer questions before you make the trip down and start the process, because again, you can't do it at our office. Now, we will continue to do the hard copy if you so choose and you want to go through the normal process of filling out the money and paying for the background. We can't deny you from that. We can't stop you from that. We will continue to do that business. But I encourage you again between now and October to take advantage of this program that we've brought to Augusta on behalf of the citizens of Richmond County. Because I tell you, when I was elected, we can't just lock our way up out of any problem we have in Richmond County. And without hope, you're going to continue to have despair within your county. So this gives the citizens of Richmond County some hope. And we want you to take advantage of it, because again, it doesn't cost you anything. So please call us, email us with your questions so we can walk you through the process, okay? So it's going to be the next 60 days. It's going to be rough going. I looked before I left. The website is up. I looked before I left where you can put your application in and submit it. So when you leave here or while you're here, you can fill out the application. It is up. So please take advantage of while you're here. And thank you for just coming out, because it means that you care about this community just as much as we do. So thank you for even being here.
And as the sheriff mentioned, please just go ahead and make sure you fill it out. Err on the side of caution. Even if you don't believe, listening to some of the parameters I was saying, you say, well, maybe I don't qualify. It hurts you not to go ahead and fill out the application. Because as I said before, there may be reasons why that qualification is not there. So next I'll have our district attorney, Ms. Natalie Payne, come up. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm excited to be a part of the summit. I appreciate Senator Jones and all that he's done to get it all together, and Amika as well. I will say, just to kind of echo what everyone's been saying, I do think it's imperative that you at least go online and fill out the application. Part of what the application does is gives us permission to run your criminal history. It's not something that we can just arbitrarily do. We have to have a reason to run it. So we can't really give you any kind of very solid answer until we have your criminal history in hand. So sometimes people think that that they pled to a specific charge, or they pled no-low, but it really is going to come down to what is reflected on your criminal history. So the best way for us to be able to get that determined is for us to be able to run your history. So and the other benefit to this summit is going to be that it's going to be a one-stop shop, meaning that we're going to have judges on hand to sign the orders to say that the records will be sealed in the clerk's office, for example, so that no one can go online and continuously look at a conviction even after it's been expunged. So there will be some added benefit to going through this process, in addition to the fact that you won't have to pay for it. So thank you.